going to go to the air right away.
Eluding the pressure right.
He's got Tunyon complete over the middle.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
And certainly, Rick, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off, because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd.
Got a man, it's Tunyon.
And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 16. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, that is caught inside the 5.
And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Walker.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
On 2nd and goal, Allen.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Jamal Adams. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Barkley, inside handoff. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw caught by Tony.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It got his man complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd down and 8.
They go play action. Now Mahomes.
Pass complete on the out route to Beckham.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw.
Throw left side, complete to Tony.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run with Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Bills drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score.
Prater for the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now it's Allen.
Repeat of the last play, finding Walker.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, 1st down. Here's Allen. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try to pick up another 1st down.
On 2nd and 10, Allen. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals are on the board here in the final minute of the 1st half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. A break there for this offense as they will get a chance to start at the 40-yard line.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked up by Foyesade Oluwakan. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
He completes this to Walker. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Second and 9 from the 44. Now Allen. Throw out wide to Walker.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is no good. He missed it. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them.
He's got a man complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Patrick Mahomes, he can do everything seemingly, and that time he just reared back and let it fly.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Darren Waller, a 20-yard touchdown.
And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point good by Prater. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown!
So there is the big arm of Josh Allen on display. He can throw it as deep as anybody, and that was an absolute laser.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears weren't realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On second down, here's Barkley. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Mahomes firing complete.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Darren Waller with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Prater for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
From the 10.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Allen going to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Bills are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
And he is out of bounds up past the 10. 11 yards for number 11.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll swing this out to Tony.
So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mahomes flushed out right. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
Fields it right around the goal.
I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. That's complete to his tight end, Waller.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a 2nd defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
The throw for Tony is intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it, and the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them...
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Bills are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 33.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley.
The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. He completes it to Beckham. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Foyesade Aluakin. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your...
He's got him in, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And the Bills are going to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. A handoff. Barkley running left. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Jonathan Abram picks it.
And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats.
And a most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield.
He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Bills come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.